Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Psychology Point. Hope all of you are doing well. Today I am going to discuss with you all chapter 2 of class 11 psychology. Name of the chapter is Methods of Inquiry in Psychology. So let's start. Okay, children, in the last chapter, you had read about what is the subject matter of psychology, isn't it? Just pause the video for a second and remind yourself what is the subject matter of psychology. Yes, it is MEB, mental processes, experiences, and behavior. Okay, now are you curious to know about how these psychologists study this subject matter? Yes, we will study the methods in this chapter. Okay, the flowchart in front of you depicts depicts the methods that are in your syllabus. First, observation, experimental, correlational research is case study, survey, psychological testing. Okay. Now we will be dealing with these methods in one by one. Okay, students, now let us start the first topic in this chapter, that is goals of psychological inquiry. The goals of psychological inquiry includes description, prediction, explanation, control, and application. Now let us start with description. What is description? See, when you are undertaking any psychological study, you have to describe the behavior which you are talking about as accurately as it is possible for you. Okay, for example, if you want to study the study habits of the children, then there are various dimensions to this topic. Study habits may consist of various types of behavior like attending all the classes regularly, submitting assignment on time, planning your study schedule, studying according to the set schedule, revising your work daily, etc. So a researcher needs to define the complete meaning of the behavior which he is studying, what he wants to study from that. That is, you have to describe the topic of your research. Okay, now we proceed with the second point, that is prediction. What is prediction, children? Forecast. Forecast of what? Weather forecast? No. Here, a psychologist is going to forecast something. When he will conduct the inquiry, then he is able to predict something, that whenever he will see a child who is getting good marks in examination, then he would be able to predict that he has adopted some good technique of for studying or something like that. Anything that he can predict, that if you come, for example, in your book, if you come to know that a particular child devotes more time to study, then you can predict that he is likely to get good marks in examination also. Okay, now next is explanation. Now, the third goal of the psychological inquiry is explanation. What are you going to explain in this? You will be explaining, or the researcher is going to explain, the determinants of behavior or the factors which make that behavior to occur. For example, what makes some children more attentive in the class? Okay. Then next is control of behavior. See, if you are able to explain why the particular behavior occurs, you can control the behavior, isn't it? Now, this controlling involves 3 points: making a particular behavior to happen, reduce it, or enhance it. Okay, so here we would be able to, for example, if we continue our same example, then you can allow the number of hours devoted to study to be the same, or you can reduce it, or you can increase the study hours. Okay, now this will bring about the changes in the behavior by psychological treatment in terms of the therapy. Okay, then next goal is application. What is application? Application means how you are going to apply whatever you had done the research on in your daily life. For example, you had the application of yoga and meditation help to reduce stress and increase your efficiency. Okay, so this type you should be able to apply in your daily life. Next, I begin with the next topic, that is steps in conducting scientific research. Okay, students, in this first point is conceptualizing a problem. How will you start your research? By selecting the topic. Now, how are you going to select the topic? By reviewing the past researches or your own observations or your own experiences. Now, after you select the topic, you have to define the topic in detail as we had discussed in the goals, the same way. And then you also have to state the hypothesis. Hypothesis, as you had already done this in first chapter, it is a tentative solution to the problem. Okay, you have to provide a hypothesis which you are going to test with your experiment or research. Okay, now after you had made the hypothesis, you have to test it. For that, you would collect some data. Now, this collection of data depends on the participant, whether your participants are urban, rural, whether they are students, adult. So, the methods which you use for collecting the data from these participants will also differ. Okay, what statistical tools are you going to use? What type of procedure you would use for collecting the data will depend on number of things. Then next is drawing conclusions. Now in the next third step, you will be drawing certain conclusions by using statistical methods. Okay, and in the fourth point, that is revising research conclusion, in this you will be discussing whether the hypothesis which you had made is proved or not. If not, then you will state an alternative hypothesis and repeat. That's why this cycle continues. You would be getting in your NCRT the on page number 24 the cycle of the steps in conducting scientific research which is drawn, that after that it keeps on continuing. Okay, so that's all for today. Have a nice day, and keep, please, a request, if you like my videos, if you are liking my notes representation something, please do comment also, and please do like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you.